Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back here again. I'm here to bring you my review of WrestleMania 28 and my review of the post-Mania RAW. And before I start the reviews, I just want to announce to everyone that my videos are now monetized on YouTube, on the vlog channel here. Not on my main channel, but the vlog channel. So you're going to start seeing ads appear on my future videos here on the vlog channel. I just thought I would let everyone know, because those who are subscribed to me on YouTube, you watch my videos and you see no ads on them, but in the future you will start to see ads pop up. Now, I don't want to see any comments saying, "Oh, you sold out, you sold out." No. I'm not a big YouTube star. This ain't nothing. I'm not gaining millions and millions of views a day like some of these other people are, but just thought I'd let everyone know that. So let's start the reviews. We'll start off with WrestleMania 28, and overall, I thought WrestleMania was a really good show. I was satisfied with what WWE presented to me. It was way better than WrestleMania 27 last year, and I really can't knock it too much, but I'm gonna review this match by match, and I'll start off with the match that kicked off the show, which was the World Heavyweight Title match. Daniel Bryan defending against Sheamus, and basically this is how the match went. Bell rings. Daniel Bryan gets a kiss from his girlfriend AJ Lee. He turns around, bam, bro kick to the face, 1, 2, 3. Sheamus wins. And it was in 18 seconds. You heard me right, 18 seconds. And I was just like, that's it? That's the match that we were anticipating, that we thought was going to be pretty good, but no, we get an 18-second world title match. Now, I know there's people out there that are not fans of Daniel Bryan, but you have to admit that he kind of got screwed at WrestleMania. I mean, if he and Sheamus went like 10 minutes or something like that, and he lost it in that amount of time, that would have been fine, But 18 seconds? I mean, it pretty much validates that Daniel Bryan has been a weak World Heavyweight Champion. And not only did they damage the guy's credibility, they also damaged the credibility of the World Heavyweight title in the process. WWE's been doing that for years with their championship belts. They've been damaging the credibility of them. And once again, they did it again. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Sheamus. I'm glad he's a world champ, but I felt like he got kind of screwed too, because these two didn't get a proper match. They only got an 18-second match, so that way they would have time for the other stuff on the show. But it's whatever, I guess. Sheamus is the world champion, and yeah. All right, next match, we had Randy Orton and Kane. I thought it was an okay match. It wasn't great, and it wasn't bad either, but it was okay. Kane picked up the victory by chokeslamming Randy Orton off the top rope. I thought that was a little cool. And Kane got a victory. I was surprised by that. I thought Orton was going to win. It was pretty much a unanimous thing for me. I thought Orton was going to win. I thought Kane had no chance, but he beat Orton. So looks like this feud will continue, and should be interesting to see where they go from here. Next match was for the Intercontinental Championship. It was Cody Rhodes defending against the Big Show, and I thought it was a decent match. Again, it wasn't nothing special, and the Big Show beat Cody Rhodes with the WMD, and I'm surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm just scratching my head a little bit at this one. Yeah, the booking seemed pretty obvious that Big Show was gonna win. It was seen that Rhodes was the stronger wrestler coming out of the feud, but come on, Cody Rhodes is one of your future top stars, and I felt like he should have beat the Big Show at WrestleMania, you know, to add more credibility to him and to make him look stronger. But they had Big Show win, and now Big Show's the new Intercontinental Champion, and I believe he's now a Grand Slam champion for the first time in his WWE career. So basically it was more about giving Big Show his WrestleMania moment, something that he hasn't had in his career because he's been on the losing end of just about every single WrestleMania match he's been in. So yeah. Next was the Divas match. It was Kelly and the host of Extra, Maria Menounos, taking on Beth Phoenix, the Divas champion, and Eve Torres. It was okay, I guess, for what it was worth. Kelly and Maria Menounos picked up the win, and that's all I gotta say about it, really. Typical Divas match. Next up, we had the end of an era. Hell in a Cell, Triple H versus The Undertaker. The Game versus The Phenom. And the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania, was the guest referee, and this was a hell of a match. It was awesome. Taker, for through all the injuries and at his age, he looked damn good out there. He really did. He brought it to Triple H, and he looked like the Undertaker that he was when he was the American Badass / Big Evil. He looked like he wasn't weak. He was holding his own against Triple H. And this was a brutal match too. These guys went ham on each other with a steel chair. Their backs were basically purple by that time that the match was over. These guys were just going at each other full bore. And there was a lot of crazy false finishes. At one point during the match, Triple H was beating down The Undertaker, and Shawn was about ready to call the match, but he didn't want to. But Triple H kept telling him, it's like, you end it or I do. And then when Shawn went to go check up on The Undertaker for the last time, Taker slapped on the Hell's Gate on a Shawn Michaels, and then Triple H hit Taker in the head with a hammer, and then Taker put him in the Hell's Gate a couple minutes afterwards and choked him out. That was a pretty crazy sequence there. And then when Shawn Michaels recovered, he hit Sweet Chin Music on The Undertaker, and then Triple H followed that up with a pedigree, and Taker kicked out. The crowd went nuts. It was great stuff. And then The Undertaker finally beat Triple H after he hit him in the face with a sledgehammer, and then hit him with a Tombstone Piledriver to end the era. So it was a great match, in my opinion. These two old veterans, they gave us everything they got, and it was a fantastic match. It was definitely one of my favorite moments coming out of WrestleMania. And I loved at the end when all three men embraced in the ring to, basically to show the amount of respect and admiration they have for one another. It was definitely a cool thing to see, and Taker and Shawn to carry Triple H out of the ring and up the ramp, and my phone's going off. Anyways, as I was saying, it was definitely a cool thing to see, and, obviously, we probably won't see Triple H or The Undertaker for a while, so, Taker, he'll probably be back in time to build for his WrestleMania 29 match, and Triple H, he'll appear whenever, But the era is now over. The end of an era match. Its victor was The Undertaker. He went 20-0, and it was definitely a great match to see. Alright, next match was the Battle of the General Managers. Team Johnny versus Team Teddy. And you know what? This match was better than I thought it was going to be. I would have to say that The Miz and Zack Ryder were definitely two of the people that performed the best in this match. And dude, when Zack Ryder got in the ring, dude, I mean, he was just like on point, I mean, the crowd was behind him, he was doing the whole woo 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 fist pump before he was setting up for the broski boot. And then Eve Torres gets in the ring, she does the woo 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 fist pump with Ryder too, and to provide a distraction basically. And then The Miz gets behind Zack Ryder, hits him with a skull crushing finale, and Team Johnny wins. So John Laurinaitis now has both control of Raw and SmackDown, and Teddy Long is basically out of a job. It wasn't a bad match, but the only thing that I would like to see is the other team members get more involved in the match, like Drew McIntyre from Team Johnny and Archer from Team SmackDown. But all in all, it was a good match. And this brings me to the WWE Championship match. CM Punk defending against Chris Jericho. And before the match, John Laurinaitis told CM Punk that if he gets disqualified, he will lose the WWE Championship to Chris Jericho. So Punk had that working against him, and this match was fucking awesome. From start to finish, these two gave it everything they got out there, and it was a hell of a match. And it was definitely the best wrestling match on the card. I mean, these two put on a 5-star match in my opinion, and Chris Jericho, his psychology in this match was just amazing. When he was, when Punk was losing his temper and he almost hit Jericho in the head with a steel chair, Jericho's like, "Come on, hit me in the head with the chair. Your father's an alcoholic. Your sister abuses drugs. Hit me in the head. Hit me in the head, damn it." That right there was just, wow. Chris Jericho is by far one of the best heels the WWE has ever had. His performance against Punk was just awesome. And CM Punk won this match via submission with the Anaconda Vice. Great match between these two. I enjoyed every second of it, and this feud is going to continue, and I'm going to talk more about it when I get to the Raw review. And then this brings us to the main event of WrestleMania 28, The Rock versus John Cena. Once in a lifetime, a year in the making. And these two, they delivered. They really did deliver. And The Rock, he looked great. He looked great. I mean, there was a couple moments where things were a little sloppy, especially with a couple of the Rock bottoms that The Rock executed. They weren't plush. But you're gonna have miscues all the time like that in wrestling. But I think these two put on a great match. I enjoyed it. And I was actually surprised to see The Rock win. I did not think that The Rock was gonna win, and I just thought Cena was gonna win, and that was gonna be it. But no, Rock won, and I was surprised. But I think the defining moment of this match was when The Rock went for the crossbody off the top rope, and Cena caught him and hit the AA, and The Rock kicked out. To me, that was the turning point of the match and the defining moment of this match. That no matter what Cena did, he couldn't keep The Rock down. And the finish of this match was when John Cena, he attempted to do the People's Elbow, and it was the worst imitation of the People's Elbow I have ever seen. The form was all wrong, And then when Cena bounced off the ropes, The Rock kicked up, hit the rock bottom, 1, 2, 3. And the crowd went nuts. But, it was great to see Rock win, and it gives him another WrestleMania moment that people are going to remember for years to come, and it was awesome. As far as my rating of WrestleMania, after the show was over, I was thinking the show gets a 7, but after further analysis, I give it an 8 out of 10. It was a good WrestleMania. It was one of the best WrestleManias in recent memory. There was some questionable booking, but all in all, it was a really good show. And this brings me to my Raw review. This was a big Raw as well. We had a major return, but I'm going to get into all of that. Raw kicked off with the new general manager of both shows, John Laurinaitis, telling the Raw locker room that he's going to give the power back to the people and blah blah blah. And then CM Punk comes from the back of the room and he tells John Laurinaitis he's a fucking toolbox. CM Punk, he's always busting Johnny's nuts. It's funny to see. And then The Rock came out and he addressed the fans. He thanked the fans. He thanked John Cena for the match last night at WrestleMania. And The Rock says he has a vision that he will one day become the WWE champion once again. Now, I mean, would it be cool to see The Rock be the WWE champion one more time? Yeah, but at the same time, I would appreciate if Rock was more of a full-time wrestler for that to happen. But I don't know if it's going to happen or not necessarily. It's not guaranteed to happen. Nothing is guaranteed to happen in wrestling. So, we're just going to have to see what happens with The Rock from there. But, and then we had the triple threat match that was made by John Laurinaitis for the U.S. title. Santino defending against Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. And I thought this was a really good match. I was surprised, For those who have not seen my wrestling videos before, I don't like Santino Marella. I used to like Santino. I used to find him funny, but nowadays I'm just like, eh. But all three guys did pretty good, and Santino ended up retaining his championship after hitting the Cobra on, I think it was Swagger. I think it was somebody, but it was a really good match, and after the match, Brodus Clay came out, and he fended off, and he used his head as a battering ram against Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph sold it perfectly. God, Dolph can sell anything. Hell, the guy could any fucking move that you do, this guy, he can sell it like it's $1 million. The guy is just, in my opinion, he's the best seller in the WWE right now. But it seems like there's going to be a program developing between those four. Maybe we'll get a Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship at Extreme Rules. That'd be cool to see, Put Brodus in his first championship match. In my opinion, he and Swagger should have had a program for the U.S. title when Swagger was champion. But, obviously we didn't get that. But it should be interesting to see what happens there. And then we had the debut of Lord Tensai, who was who was once Prince Albert or A-Train, whatever you want to call him, in WWE. But Lord Tensai here debuted against Alex Riley, and pretty much Tensai dominated Alex Riley from start to finish. I think the Lord Tensai character is interesting. You know, I think he's going to get a monster heel type push, but you know it's going to be interesting to see how they go with him from here. But it's good to see Albert back in the WWE. You know, he's been in the WWE. He's been out there. He's been out of the WWE for a while, and he's been in Japan all this time. You know, dominating over there. So, yeah. And then we had the WWE title match. We had CM Punk defending against Mark Henry. This match was made after John Laurinaitis was told off by Punk, and Laurinaitis was pissed off at his comment, so he booked him against Mark Henry. Now these two, Mark Henry, he really surprised me in this match. Now I don't give Mark Henry a lot of credit, like some people do, but he brought his A game tonight, and he put on a pretty good match with CM Punk, and I enjoyed it. And then Punk won by count out. I mean, Punk lost by count out, but he still keeps the championship. And then Laurinaitis comes out with David Otunga, and Laurinaitis says that CM Punk will be defending the championship on a more consistent basis, and that he sees dark clouds in his future. And then Chris Jericho comes from the crowd with microphone in hand, and he said that Punk is still going to drink, and he's going to be the reason why Punk is going to drink alcohol. So Jericho had a bottle of wine, and he opened it, and he poured it all on CM Punk, and all on his face. Then Punk turned over on his stomach. Jericho got another bottle, and he smashed it over CM Punk's head. Great work. Great heel work by Chris Jericho. You know, I'm constantly praising Chris Jericho for his heel work, but it's fucking phenomenal. How can you not, you know, be amazed by Chris Jericho's heel work and the stuff he does and the stuff he says? The guy is just a great heel. So, you know, the program continues between Punk and Jericho, and we'll probably get a match at Extreme Rules. Punk may drop the championship to Chris Jericho at some point, you know, but I'm looking forward to it. And then we had a match with Cody Rhodes and Kofi Kingston. I felt these two should have gotten more time because they're both really talented men, but the Big Show came out, and he turned the tables on Cody Rhodes by replaying what Big Show did to him at WrestleMania the previous night by knocking him out and winning the Intercontinental title. And then Cody Rhodes was irate after seeing that. He turns around and he eats a Trouble in Paradise from Cody Rhodes. He gets pinned 1, 2, 3, and yeah, Kofi Kingston is your winner. And obviously, you know, Big Show and Cody Rhodes, their program is going to continue, and they'll probably have a match at Extreme Rules, and who knows, you know, how long Big Show's title reign is going to last. Maybe Cody Rhodes will win back the Intercontinental title at some point. We'll have to see. And then we had Sheamus come out, and he cut a promo. Well, he was going to cut a promo, but Alberto Del Rio, a returning Alberto Del Rio, came out, and he told Sheamus that he is going to be the next guy in line for his World Heavyweight title after he beats him in a match on SmackDown. So this Friday night on SmackDown, we're going to get Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus. If Del Rio wins, he gets a guaranteed World Heavyweight Championship match against Sheamus. And there were some technical difficulties in this with the microphones, and as Del Rio was getting a new microphone, he turned around and got a bro kick from Sheamus. And I noticed that the crowd was really behind Daniel Bryan tonight. There was a whole lot of yes, yes, yes chants coming from the Miami crowd. And when Sheamus came out, they booed him. You know, I mean, there was a few people that were, you know, cheering for Sheamus, but it was mainly boos. So, you know, the Miami crowd are not too pleased with Daniel Bryan losing in 18 seconds to Sheamus at WrestleMania. And I think that reflects bad on Sheamus, because now he's being booed because of WWE's bad booking. I mean, this guy's a babyface and he's getting booed. Wow. But you know, WWE does make mistakes from time to time, and they've made one here. I mean, I'm not saying Sheamus shouldn't be the World Heavyweight Champion, but, you know, the way they booked it was a mistake. And then this brings us to the ending segment of Raw. John Cena came out, and you know, he addressed what happened at WrestleMania last night, him losing to The Rock, and you know, he said that, you know, he meant everything he said leading up to WrestleMania, and this comment, right, this thing he said right here, I was basically like, what? He said he now respects The Rock. Whoa, hold on a second, John. You've been basically saying that The Rock has been a sellout, and that, you know, he doesn't care about the business. You've been saying all these things about The Rock, and now you respect him just because he worked a match with you at WrestleMania? Come on. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that Cena, has to, not like The Rock, but it seems like he came off in a friendly way towards The Rock. He should have been like, my opinions on The Rock haven't changed. He's still a sellout. I don't like him. He should have been saying that. But no, he's like, he said he respects The Rock now. I don't know. I don't view The Rock as a sellout or anything like that, but like, I don't like how, how people's opinions change about a certain someone at this, all of a sudden. Like, you can go from hating the guy one moment, and then you act like he's your best friend the second. I don't know. But anyways, Cena invited The Rock to come down to the ring, and he didn't get The Rock. He got Brock Lesnar. Yes, that's right, Brock Lesnar returned to the WWE at Raw, and Brock got in the ring. He extended his hand, for Cena to shake it, and when Cena did, Lesnar gave him an F5 on the spot. The crowd went nuts. The crowd was super behind Brock Lesnar returning, but I am not behind Brock Lesnar returning to the WWE, because I feel like that Brock Lesnar turned his back on the business when he half-assed his WrestleMania 20 match against Goldberg, and the way he left the company. He left the company on very bad terms, and it seems like all is forgiven now. And WWE wants Lesnar back real bad for some reason. I don't understand it. But Brock Lesnar apparently is going to have 2 appearances per month as a part of his contract with WWE. And WWE can negotiate for Brock to appear at more than two shows, or however they're going to do this, and it's a 1-year contract, and it basically ends at WrestleMania 29. So yeah, so we're going to be seeing Brock Lesnar on a monthly basis in the WWE, and apparently, you know, him and John Cena are going to have a feud. So that should be interesting to see how it all pans out and stuff like that. But regarding Brock Lesnar personally, you know, I don't like how he turned his back on the business the way he did. But you know, that's just me. You know, I know a lot of people are excited for Brock Lesnar, and you know, if that's how they feel, that's how they feel. You know, but I'm gonna give Raw a 7.5 out of 10 rating. Thought it was a pretty good show. You know, it was decent. It was good for what it was worth, and we'll see how the build towards Extreme Rules goes. But it's going to conclude my reviews of WrestleMania 28 and the 4/2/12 edition of WWE RAW. I hope you guys enjoyed my reviews, and leave me some feedback in the comments below. Like my video, follow me on Twitter at _CS10, and join WrestlingVengeance.com. You know, discuss the fallout from WrestleMania, this past week's Raw, and until next time, peace.